What can we do for you today?
I would like to book studio for a session.
I have an idea. You sing me one of your songs and you cheer me up, and I'll tip you $100.
$100?
$100.
The world surrounding Love Hunter has always carried an atmosphere that feels both dreamy and volatile, as if romance and danger walk side by side down the same narrow road. Every update that emerges about this title only deepens that strange duality, giving people a glimpse into a universe where love is not merely an emotion, but a force that reshapes the fates of those brave enough to chase it. The latest developments have begun to paint a clearer picture of why this story resonates so strongly. It continues to expand on themes of pursuit, longing, sacrifice, and the quiet intensity that comes with caring for someone in a world that doesn't always make room for tenderness. Each new detail shows how this project keeps evolving, not by drifting away from its roots, but by holding on to the emotions that first made it compelling. The feeling that something powerful lies just beneath the surface drives every moment forward, guiding the audience through a journey where love is treated as both a weapon and a salvation. With every update shared by the creators, a stronger emphasis on the emotional transformation of the characters becomes visible. Love Hunter isn't simply about two people meeting under unusual circumstances. It explores the deeper, unspoken experiences that shape who they become along the way. The most recent information highlights the growing internal conflict within its central figure, a character whose identity is formed by both passion and purpose. His role as a hunter is traditionally bound by rules, discipline, and the harsh clarity of duty, yet everything begins to unravel when he crosses paths with someone who awakens thoughts he never allowed himself to feel. The new insights reveal how this emotional shift is portrayed with greater vulnerability, showing him struggle between the structured world he was raised in and the uncharted territory of love that refuses to be hunted or controlled. The updates emphasize that the latest phase of the story explores his attempts to redefine himself not for glory or recognition, but because he finally encounters someone whose presence challenges the very foundation of his beliefs. Another major development focuses on the character who becomes the unexpected center of his journey. She is introduced in new descriptions as someone who seems ordinary at first glance, yet carries an aura of mystery that grows with every scene. Early impressions portrayed her simply as a calm, quiet individual living her life away from conflict, but the newest updates reveal that her background holds connections to secrets capable of altering the hunter's entire world. As more layers are unveiled, it becomes clear that her gentle nature is not a sign of weakness, but a result of surviving experiences that left invisible marks on her heart. Her presence brings warmth into the story, but the warmth is laced with a fragility that makes the audience want to protect her, while also understanding that she is far stronger than she seems. Recent details emphasize that her evolving bond with the hunter is not built through dramatic declarations or dramatic rescues, but through moments of silence, shared glances, and the slow recognition that both of them carry scars they rarely speak about. The updates also expand on the setting, revealing that Love Hunter creates a world where beauty and danger coexist in seamless harmony. The new information describes landscapes that shift from dimly lit alleyways to wide open fields filled with soft sunlight, each environment reflecting the emotional tone of the characters inhabiting it. The city pulses with an energy that seems to mirror the heartbeat of the hunter himself, sharp, restless, constantly searching. In contrast, the quieter rural areas offer a kind of breathing space, a place where emotions can surface without fear or urgency. The creators have hinted that this contrast becomes more pronounced as the story progresses, using light, sound, and atmosphere to shape the emotional rhythm. As more updates come in, It becomes clear that the world of Love Hunter isn't just a backdrop. It acts as an emotional compass, guiding the characters through moments of conflict, discovery, and fragile hope. Recent developments also touch on the rising tension surrounding the forces that threaten to pull the two leads apart. The updates mention that the hunter's past refuses to stay buried, resurfacing in the form of adversaries who see love as a dangerous distraction. These antagonistic elements are described not merely as villains chasing power, but as individuals driven by their own fractured histories. Some of them view the hunter's newfound emotional vulnerability as a weakness that can be exploited, while others fear what might happen if his conviction shifts away from the mission he was assigned. The newly introduced conflicts are said to operate on multiple levels: physical danger, emotional manipulation, and ideological clashes that challenge the very meaning of loyalty. These updates suggest that the story grows darker and more complex, not for shock value, but because love often emerges most vividly when shadowed by the threat of being lost. At the same time, the creative team continues to highlight the softer elements that define the heart of Love Hunter. The latest insights describe moments of stillness where the characters share quiet conversations, explore abandoned streets, or simply sit together listening to the distant hum of the world. These scenes are designed to breathe life into the emotional landscape, allowing love to unfold gradually rather than rushing toward a forced climax. The updates mention that these intimate moments are crafted with particular attention to subtle gestures, the way a hand hesitates before reaching out, the way the characters' expressions shift as they understand each other more deeply, the rhythm of their breathing as silence speaks for them. Every new detail emphasizes that Love Hunter aims to portray love not as a fairy tale ideal, but as something fragile, human, and profoundly real. There is also growing excitement surrounding the story's exploration of destiny and choice. The new updates reveal that the characters increasingly confront the idea that love does not simply happen. It must be chosen, protected, and sometimes fought for. The hunter's journey is said to revolve around realizing that the life he was trained for does not have to determine the life he wants to build. Meanwhile, she begins to confront her own fears about letting someone into a heart that has already endured loss. The updates hint at scenes that challenge both characters to question their understanding of trust, vulnerability, and strength. This thematic evolution deepens the emotional resonance, shaping Love Hunter into a story that feels both timeless and intimately personal. One of the most intriguing pieces of new information suggests that future developments will focus on the consequences of love in a world built on conflict. Rather than offering easy resolutions, the story delves into the uncomfortable truth that choosing someone sometimes means giving up pieces of yourself. The creators have revealed that upcoming sections will explore how love can transform a person's values, reshaping the way they view risk, safety, and purpose. As their bond grows, so does the danger surrounding them, creating a fragile balance where every decision carries emotional weight. The updates indicate that tension rises not through loud confrontations, but through quiet moments when the characters must decide how far they are willing to go for each other. In addition to emotional depth, the updates also mention a growing sense of adventure woven throughout the narrative. The story expands into territories unexplored before: hidden districts, forgotten corridors, rooftops overlooking shifting skylines, each new location carrying secrets waiting to be uncovered. The hunter's search begins to resemble more than a mission. It becomes a journey toward understanding what truly matters. The newest descriptions highlight scenes filled with movement and momentum, yet balanced with reflective pauses that allow the emotional core to stay intact. This blend of action and introspection gives the story a pulse that feels alive, driving the characters toward revelations neither of them expected. Another area receiving attention in recent updates is the evolving symbolism woven throughout the story. Love Hunter incorporates visual motifs that reflect the characters' inner struggles, shadows that lengthen when doubt creeps in, reflections that distort when the characters question their identities, and light that breaks through at moments when hope begins to surface again. These symbolic elements deepen the atmosphere, making every scene feel emotionally charged, even when little is said aloud. The creators have mentioned that these motifs become more pronounced over time, subtly guiding the audience through the character's emotional evolution without relying on direct exposition. As more information continues to circulate, it becomes clear that Love Hunter's narrative is expanding not only in scope, but in emotional complexity. The updates reveal that the story is gradually moving toward a point where the characters must confront their greatest fears of loss, of failure, of choosing the wrong path, of embracing a love that could either heal them or break them entirely. These emotional stakes give the story a mature depth that resonates with anyone who has ever loved someone deeply enough to risk something of themselves. The creators emphasize that the upcoming developments are designed to challenge both characters to grow, not for the sake of drama, but because love itself demands growth. Even with all these emerging details, the essence of Love Hunter remains rooted in its exploration of the human heart. Every update reinforces the idea that the story is not built on spectacle or grand declarations, but on sincerity and emotional truth. The characters evolve not because the plot pushes them forward, but because their connection inspires them to become more than who they were. The creators hint that as the story continues to unfold, the audience will witness moments of raw honesty that shape the characters' futures in ways neither expected. These emotional revelations promise to deliver a conclusion that feels earned, meaningful, and deeply human. All these updates come together to form a fuller understanding of what Love Hunter is becoming, a story that refuses to rush, choosing instead to let emotions breathe, a world where love is portrayed not as escape, but as courage and characters who discover themselves by discovering each other. With every new detail, anticipation grows, carrying the promise that the journey ahead will be heartfelt, mature, and unforgettable. And as the story continues to expand, the world of Love Hunter stands ready to offer one thing above all: a reminder that love, no matter how dangerous or uncertain, is always worth the pursuit.